Hey champions, how are you doing? This is Chris Gloss here and welcome to Vlogmas day number 19. Gonna try something new this evening. Let me get this mic adjusted. Got a couple of different new things happening and going on, so hope you are feeling fantastic. We're gonna talk, this is a special Sunday. Breaking news, special Sunday. Hope this Sunday is going great for you, and want to talk to you about stepping outside your comfort zone. I created a course around stepping outside your comfort zone, and I want to share some content from there from some time ago because I'm trying something new for 2022 that I'm going to polish up on, but I want to just kind of work through a couple of slides and a couple of things and see how this production looks, see where I can improve. So I hope you don't mind joining me for this Vlogmas journey. That's what Vlogmas is all about, is doing different things during this every day of creating a video. And if you want to know more about Vlogmas, go ahead and click on the series of Vlogmas videos and check out video number 1. And I'll put a link up there as well. Check out video number 1 and you'll learn more about Vlogmas, what I'm doing, and why you should go ahead and jump in even though it's day 19. Just so you can sharpen your skills and learn some more things. So thoroughly excited about this. I feel like my audio is kind of off. I don't know why, but maybe we'll get this thing figured out. It's just going to be one of those days where we are trying some new things. So today, once again, it's a special Sunday. We're talking about step outside your comfort zone. And I want to share some content with you from this presentation. Forgetting the status quo and watch your business grow. You know, the comfort zone is a great place to visit, but you can't stay there. There's no growth in the comfort zone. Things in the comfort zone can become stagnant, and a lot of times the comfort zone is just based off of fear, right? What has you in fear? What is gripping you in fear? Why is fear able to contain you with all the goodness that's on the inside of you, with all the dreams, the goals, the ideas, everything that's on the inside of you? Why are you still there, right? The comfort zone is a place where there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of wishing, but there's no action. And in order for you to really begin to experience some of those things that you want to experience in this life, you got to step outside that comfort zone. And it all begins with one step. And I hope you make that one step today while this video is being played, while you're watching this live stream. I hope that you make the decision to go ahead and step outside your comfort zone. I really do, because I believe it's necessary, and I believe it's within your power and your ability to be able to do so, right? So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about step outside your comfort zone, forget the status quo, and grow, right? So when we're thinking about forget about the status quo, forgetting about what everybody else is doing, and also this is just going to be part 1 of a series. So I plan on doing this series on step outside your comfort zone on Sundays, right? So on Sundays, it's a 4-part series. I will pick up part 2 next Sunday, and then after that, and then we'll be in 2022 wrapping this up and starting some new things, right? So I'm working on the production series for this. So we'll see how all of this comes together. Thanks again for watching. Hey, so stepping outside your comfort zone. The problem with the status quo, right? The problem with listening to people that are in the status quo, people watching the status quo, is that growth is fueled by new ideas. Think about that. Growth is fueled by new ideas. And with the status quo are stagnant ideas, those old ideas, antiquated ideas that just don't work. I mean, think about it. Are you currently in a situation where you battle against stagnant ideas every day? People wanting to do things based on formulas and processes that don't even serve us anymore. I mean, still doing things based off of something that science now says isn't even possible, that we should have never been thinking that, or we know better, so we do better type of mindset, right? So if we're still continuing to do those things that's not producing the outcomes we want, we have to, we must, we have a responsibility to get out of those stagnant ideas and be willing to try something new, to take the risk to experience something new. I like what Gurna says: if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, what else is there? Being able to take the risk and start using some new and fresh ideas. I believe personally that's the power of diversity. You know, if you have a group of people making decisions and all of them are of the same kind, type, mindset, you're going to limit the real true potential that you have to experience great breakthrough and outcomes. You want to know why? Because everybody have the same mindset. No one challenges that thought. No one challenges those stagnant ideas. If you have a group of just men, you're about to head to failure. If you have a group of just women, you're about to head to failure. Or I don't want to say failure, but you're going to be limited, because those are brilliant men, brilliant women, but you're going to be limited. But if you just have one group or one class, I'm stuck right there. Group of ethnic people. I can't get the word out of my mouth. It's like stuck right there. My tongue is just in pause right there. Put it in the chat for me. Right. So, but if you're limiting yourself, if you're limiting who has the ability to come to the table, your ideas are going to be stagnant. You're not going to grow based off those ideas. You need somebody that's from the outside looking in. Write this quote down in your notes. You can't see the picture when you're standing in the frame. Think about that. You can't see the picture when you're standing in the frame. You need somebody outside the frame that can help navigate what's going on in that picture. Watch out, there's a tree. Watch out, there's a mountain there. Watch out, there's a stream there. You can't do it when you're in the picture. You need some ideas from the outside to help expand the thoughts of the people on the inside. Stagnant old ideas, doing something that no longer serves you and continuing to do that, staying stuck in that process. You're in your comfort zone. You're in a place of fear. No growth is going to come out of that. You're going to be firmly planted in the same place and watch everything else around you go by. That's the interesting thing about change. Change isn't waiting on you. Change will continue to move on. You could be stuck with doing things the way we did it in the year 2000 if you want to. You could be stuck doing things the way people are doing it right now in 2021. Write this down in your notes real quick. Bill Gates 2 weeks ago, he said in 3 years, check this out, champions, 3 years, in 3 short years. You can forget about Zoom the way it is. If you're still struggling with Zoom and still struggling with live streaming platforms, in 3 short years, he said we all are going to be in a virtual environment like the metaverse. He says that's where conferences are going to take place. If you notice, you need to get your avatars done. You need to start thinking about domain names as NFTs. If you get stuck in a trap still thinking that everybody's just going to go down to the local donut shop and watch your presentation, you're sadly mistaken. There's a global world to connect with, and it's going to be done virtually. Pay attention to this. If you notice, the latest AirPods have this thing called spatial audio. Put that in your notes. I want you to research spatial audio after training. You put those earbuds in, you can still remain present with what's going on around you. That technology was born for the metaverse. Because think about this now. When you have an avatar and you put those goggles on and you're inside this virtual world, you will feel the same feelings as though you were there present with that spatial audio, because you're going to hear those little nuances. You're going to pick up on those little conversations. You're going to be able to feel like you're right there. You're going to be lost in that place. If you get stuck with stagnant ideas, doing things the way people are doing them right now in 2021, let me tell you, 2025 is going to be real different. And if you're not on the train, you're going to be on the outside looking in. You're still going to struggle because technology is moving and it's not waiting for us. So we got to take full advantage of the opportunity to get rid of stagnant ideas. Another problem with the status quo, less engagement. People aren't engaged. I mean, if you think about it, in employment, or you think about most companies, most organizations, most people still think when people are calling out sick, they think that's the worst time. That's the worst part of employee engagement. When people are calling out sick, they are not at work. And you know what? Research has proven that's not the hardest part. That's not the worst part. Absenteeism is not the worst, most challenging things organizations are dealing with. It's not absenteeism. It's something called presenteeism. That's when people show up to work and they're not engaged, they're not interacting, and they're not performing, but they are taking up space and air and money. And productivity is at an all-time low. You think about the Great Resignation is a big deal. The Great Resignation is deeply rooted in low engagement. I mean, think about it. There's been research and people have often said, I don't know how true it is, but it's been around for decades, that people don't quit their job, they quit their manager. Have you heard that before? That people don't quit their job, they quit their manager? Yeah. So because they quit their manager because they don't know their manager. They quit their manager because there's no relationship there. They quit their manager because there's no growth there. Write this in your notes. People will not grow beyond their leader. Write that in your notes. People won't grow beyond their leader. John Maxwell has this concept called the law of the lid. If you're a 3, your team will only be a 2. If you're a 7, your team could be a 6. If you're a 9, your team could be an 8. That's the law of the lid. You're not going to grow beyond that. Your team is not going to surpass you. So if you're operating, or if you have a leader under you that's operating in a 3, that means that team is a 2. That means more people are going to participate in that Great Resignation. Now, I've been personally thinking about this Great Resignation. So I've been asking myself the question, well, where are people going? Are people simply just going to go to another job? And if they're going to go to another job, why are they going to that job? Is it because the new job is just that much more attractive? So what do we need to do to make ourselves more attractive? What do we need to do? We need to get outside our comfort zone, because that status quo is going to have us in a position where we're not attracting the people that are leaving, right? Yeah, you might have some loss. Some people may leave your organization. Some people may leave your team. Great. But you know what? There are other people looking to join somewhere new. Are you putting yourself in a position where you're attractive enough to bring them on in? And then when they come in, you have a system set up to engage them, right? Think about that. Think about that for a moment. I'm going to continue in just 1 second. Once again, this is Chris Gloss. This is a special Sunday night session, part 1 of stepping outside your comfort zone, forgetting the status quo and grow. We're talking about this first portion of part 1, the problem with the status quo, recognizing that stagnant ideas will cause us to tank. Stagnant ideas will cause us not to be able to fuel where we're wanting to go, because growth is fueled by new ideas. We won't be able to grow. And then we talked about it produces less engagement. That's another problem with the status quo. You know, that biggest challenge, though, because we all want to grow. We want to grow in productivity. We want to grow in profitability. We want to grow in sustainability. It's all about growth. That's the third biggest thing that we need to focus on. And inside the course, I go into more detail, and I have documents to help you be able to flush these things out. And I go into more detail about the other things that impact the problems with the status quo. But it limits growth. If you want to grow, if you're looking at taking full charge of 2022, let's say, for example, you don't have an organization, you're not a part of an organization, you're a solopreneur, you just have your own, it's just you. Well, what do you got to do to get rid of those thoughts in your mind that's keeping you on the inside of the comfort zone? What's going on in between your left ear and your right ear that's limiting your growth to be able to seize opportunities in 2022? What's going on there? What conversations are going on inside your mind telling you you can't, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not smart enough, you're not tall enough, you don't have the connection or complexion? What's going on between your ears that the status quo is fueling and continuing to anchor you into remaining right where you are? It limits your growth. So I'm challenging you to step outside your comfort zone. I want you to leave the status quo, leaving what everybody else is doing. So if you can see people doing things, it's just like years ago, someone told me, when you see something in the news as far as technology and you're all excited about jumping on that bandwagon, it's too late. It's too late. It's already gone. It's already in motion. So it's about researching now, doing the work now, stepping outside the comfort zone now so that you can get to a better place so that you can hit your objectives in 2022. At the same time, here's the last thing I want to share with you in this broadcast tonight is that it begins now. I was listening to a broadcast the other day and someone said, what is it about 2022? And I want to ask you this right now. And I want you to think about this and I want you to write this on your notes. What is it about 2022? January 1st, 2022. What's so special about it that we're waiting for it? Think about that for a moment. What's so special about January 1st, 2022 that we're waiting for it versus taking action right now? I know Christmas is coming up next weekend. So what? What are you going to do now to go in 2022 with momentum? What are you going to do now? Now is the time. Don't let the calendar fool you into thinking that you have that type of time. And I think that's why Marcus Aurelius once said, quit living as though you have 1,000 years to live. You ain't got time to wait for January 1st, 2022. The time is tonight. What are you going to do tonight to secure tomorrow? What are you going to do tonight so that tomorrow and the day after is going to be different? The seeds you sow tonight are the ones that's going to harvest when you wake up. You're only always going to have today. So how are you going to maximize today for the opportunities tomorrow? I don't know. We're going to figure this thing out together though, champions. You're not alone. We're going to figure this thing out together. Next week, I think I'm going to open it up and get more people to kind of interact with this broadcast. I think I'm going to advertise it some so some people can watch and know what we're doing on this special Sunday, just to have some feedback. May have a few special guests join in just for people to weigh in, or if anybody wants to weigh in, I'll just bring them in next week. But this is just a test for this special Sunday series. And I want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate you for watching this particular broadcast tonight, talking about step outside your comfort zone. Do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe right now. Yeah, I want you to subscribe for me, because by subscribing, you won't miss not one broadcast. Some very special things are going to be happening as we close this year out and enter into a new year. So I don't want you to miss it. And go ahead and hit that like button and leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this broadcast tonight, champion. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you over the next broadcast. Matter of fact, YouTube thinks these upcoming videos are pretty special. And so do I. Go ahead and take a look at them. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much, champion. Create a great day. Salute.